Get started. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaurabhaktaranda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nana Shastra Vicharinaikamipano Saddharma Samstapakao Lokanam Hitakarinau Tribhuvane Manyam Sharanyakarau Radha Krishna Padaravinda Bhajana Nande Namattalikao Vande Rupa Sanatanau Raghuyugao Shri Jiva Gopalakao. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the six Goswamis, namely Shri Rupa Goswami, Shri Sanatan Goswami, Shri Raghunatha Bhatta Goswami, Shri Raghunatha Dasa Goswami, Shri Jiva Goswami, Shri Gopal Bhatta Goswami, who are very expert in scrutinizingly studying all the revealed scriptures with the aim of establishing eternal religious principles for the benefit of all human beings. Thus they are honored all over the three worlds, and they are worth taking shelter of, because they are absorbed in the mood of the gopis and are engaged in the transcendent loving service of Radha and Krishna. So today we are at the 7th verse, and Srila Rupa Goswami is fulfilling the desire of Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam, which is spreading whatever Mahaprabhu wanted of the six Goswamis. They are, and Rupa Goswami is starting with is spreading, is fulfilling that desire of Mahaprabhu. That is why he is glorified as Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. So Rupa Goswami is the one who is have understood the heart of Mahaprabhu, because he has received the full mercy from Mahaprabhu. We have seen in the first session how Mahaprabhu has given him the full mercy, Rupa Goswami, and is fulfilling the desire Manobhishtam of Mahaprabhu. And one of the instructions that Mahaprabhu gave Rupa Goswami is to spread the glories of the holy name. So this particular verse is about glories of the holy name. In this verse, Rupa Goswami is speaking about the glories of the holy name. Okay, let's recite the verse and the translation and then go over it a little bit further. Shyat Krishna Nama Charitadi Sitapa Vidya पीतोपतप्तरसनस्य नरोचिकानो किन्त्वादरादनुदिनं खलु सैव जुष्ट्वा स्वाद्विक्रमाद्भवति तत्कदमूलहन्त्री. Srimad can you recite? Syat Krishna Nama Charitadi Sitapavidya.
Syat Krishna Nama Charitadi Sitapa Avidya.
पीतोपतप्तरसनस्य नरोचिकानो
पीतोपतप्त रसनस्य नारुचिका चिकानो
पीतोपतप्तरसनस्य नरोचिकानो
पतप्त रसनस्य रुचिको रुचिको. Sorry, Mataja. I take my specs out.
किन्त्वादरादनुदिनं खलु सैव जुष्ट्वा
किन्तु अधार्द अनुदिनं खलु सवैव जुष्टा
स्वाद्विक्रमाद्भवति तत्कदमूलहन्त्री
स्वाध्वीक्रमादिभवति तद्गतमूलहन्त्री.
Thank you. Syat is Krishna of Lord Krishna, Nama, the holy name, Charita Adi, character, pastimes, and so forth, Sita, sugar candy, Ati, although, Avidya of ignorance, Pitta by the bile, Upatapta, afflicted, Rasanasya of the tongue, Na, not, Rochika, palatable, No, oh, how wonderful it is, Kintu, but, Adara, carefully, Anudinam, every day or 24 hours daily, Khalu, naturally, Sa, that, sugar candy of the holy name, Eva, certainly, Jushta, taken or chanted, Swadvi, relishable, Kramat, gradually, Bhavati becomes Tadgata, of the desire, Mula of the root, Hantri the destroyer. Translation. The holy name, character, pastimes, and activities of Krishna are all transcendently sweet like sugar candy. Although the tongue of one afflicted by the jaundice of avidya, ignorance, cannot taste anything sweet, it is wonderful that simply by carefully chanting these sweet holy names, these names every day, a natural relish awakens within his tongue, and his disease is gradually destroyed at the root. So, this verse is talking about how the holy names have to be taken up by the sadhaka. So, we are in the middle section of Nectar of Instruction. And this is also, I think, the first session we spoke about what are the breakdown. Get to that slide. The six urges, sorry, this is the first verse. Anyway, the first, yeah, Pradesh number 30, yes. So up until the 7th verse, it's still about understanding the sambandha of with the Lord. So the first things that we spoke about, first 4 verses were about how to avoid certain things that are not favorable and how to adopt certain things that are favorable. And then the next verse is awakening the dormant love of Krishna, which is this verse by chanting with adarat. Okay, we'll get to the details. By chanting, one can awaken the dormant taste for Krishna's holy name. So up until now, there was no specific reference to, in the first 4 verses, there were no specific reference to devotional service itself. It is about the basics, the very morals, how to control if you want to become a sadhu, the basic thing is to control your mind without anger, have mind, speech, genitals, and so on. And then how to do the unfavorable things. Anyone who wants to become like a soft-hearted person, they would do that. Like not, but there was nothing reference to the holy name itself or the devotional activities itself. Not until the 6 loving, after 6 loving exchange, that verse which we spoke about, sharing the hearts and appropriately respecting 3 types of devotees. Who are the 3 types of devotees? Who are the Kanishta, Madhyama, and Uttama. These are the devotees of the Lord. So that was the reference that started happening there. And then followed by that, the vision, the internal vision, what one should carry and how to see, not just the externals, the internals. And then now, who are we talking about awakening that bhakti for? The holy names of the Lord, who is none other than Krishna himself. So here it is coming the direct reference. And the next words would be directly the Abhideya, Raganuga, Abhideya, which is actually implementing that bhakti. Even the 7th and the 8th verses are about Abhideya, like applying that principles that we have learned. All until now, we are just talking, and up until now, we were talking about the Sambandha. Now we are going to get into the details of Abhideya, which is 6th and 7th. So awakening dormant taste for Krishna is one of the Abhideya process. How is it happening? We are applying whatever we have learned of diligently chanting the holy name of the Lord. So now if we go to the verse itself, the verse speaks about certain things that happen to general conditioned souls. Conditioned souls are afflicted by avidya. That avidya is just like jaundice, pitta, which is secretions of the bile, and they will be generally, if one is afflicted by jaundice, which is a secretion from the liver, a bile juice is secreted, and the entire body turns yellow. There's no taste in the tongue because of that. So similarly, the conditioned soul is afflicted by avidya. Avidya is ignorance. Ignorance causes forgetfulness of our eternal position. So ignorance causes, what does the life cycle of ignorance? Ignorance causes development of lust. With the lust, kama develops. With the kama, klesha develops. So one leads to this. Ignorance means forgetfulness of our eternal position. And just like the jaundice condition, when the living entity doesn't have the taste in the tongue, that's not the normal condition, because we have always the taste. Once one is affected by the jaundice, there's no taste. And the best remedy for the jaundice is sugar candy, it is said. Sugar candy, which is not what we find in the stores, but the actual sugarcane juice, when it is condensed by boiling it over and over, it becomes very condensed. And that is very sweet. That is a medicine actually. So that sugar candy, when it is given to the diseased person, it becomes very distasteful. It becomes even very bitter, even though it is such sweet. So, and repeatedly going on taking that candy, the taste will come at some point. That means the disease has been removed from the body. So similarly, for the person who has no taste for the holy name, who is afflicted by avidya, they cannot chant the holy name of the Lord. Still, this is the best remedy. Best remedy is to chant, go on chanting the holy name of the Lord. If a person is afflicted by avidya, or sorry, jaundice, if he takes sugar candy, whether he believes it or not, it will be rectified. The disease will overcome. He will overcome the disease. Whether he knows, if for a small child who doesn't know the importance of sugar candy, still if you give it to the child, if he doesn't want to eat it, but you still enforce it, slowly the child will eat and there is a removal of the disease from the body. But for the holy name, can we just go on chanting the holy name and have the same effect as the sugar candy juice? What are your thoughts?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
So you can still chant the holy name of the Lord and get the same effect?
Yes, at first it will not be so tasteful, but with purification, it changes the taste.
Okay. Rupa Goswami has introduced certain words, which is Adara and Anudina. The child doesn't know the glory of the sugar candy. He can just take it. Soonly, surely, he will be rectified. But this word, Adarat means with respect. Where is it? Adarat carefully, with respect. Adara, anadara means without no respect. Adara means respect, carefully. So one has to take this holy name carefully. There are other ways to chant the holy name. Anybody knows the different ways of chanting the holy name?
Kirtan. Kirtan.
In the sense, the types of chanting the holy name. Nama. Yes.
Is it one way you're silently chanting in the mind? Like, you're not really saying it loudly, and then one way you're like saying it, but only you can hear it. And then one when you're chanting and everybody can hear it. Like, is it that?
Different methods, that is. But the holy name is chanted in three ways. One is, yes.
Mataji, is it your Seva Aparad, Nama Aparad, and Vaishnava Aparad?
Those are aparads.
There are three stages. One is Namabhas,
Yeah.
Shuddhanam, Namaprad, Namabhas, and Shuddhanam.
Shuddhanam.
Yes. Can you go further, Mataji?
Shuddhanam is when, we have the Prema, Krishna Prema. That is when we chant without any offenses. Namaprad is, the offense, chanting with offenses. And Namabhas, I'm not very sure about it, Mataji. It's a stage in between where we are, that purifying stage where we are trying to cleanse by following the regulative principles and following the instructions of the Guru.
Okay, yeah, thank you. So Nama Aparad is offensive chanting. Still, holy name has effect. It can remove all the sins. Everything can be removed by Nama Aparad itself. Okay? And because there is a verse in Bhagavatam where it says, even if you do it by Helana, Stopa, Hasya, Parihasya, like you do it with to mock someone, to just imitate certain thing, in a very ignorant way you do it, still holy name has its effect. So that is Nama Aparad. You're still offensive while chanting. And then there is Nama Abhas, which is clearing stage. You're almost clearing of, you're chanting very diligently so that you want to purify your chanting and you want to purify yourself. Go to the next stage, which is Nama Abha. Abhash means Abhas is a reflection. So it's a reflective chanting. It's not completely pure, but it is reflective. We probably are on that stage, and one can aspire to be on that stage. Because if you are still at the Nama Aparad stage, then getting the Krishna Prema is hard. I mean, it's a long way process. So we should at least strive to be at the Nama Abhash stage, which is striving very diligently to get to the pure, chant the pure holy name. And Nama Shuddhanam. Shuddhanam is pure devotees. It descends. There is no effort from our side in the Nama Shuddhanam. Right now, we are making an effort. An attempt is made to chant effectively. But in the Shuddhanam, it descends. It's automatically. It's constant. There is no any hard struggle on the chant and the person chanting. And it's none of, I mean, you're so attached to the holy name that you are not separated from it. So there are many glories that one can speak about the glories of the holy name. And we will just stick to the chapter, the verse and the purport today, whatever Prabhupada is speaking. So Shuddhanam is very, very purified sage. So that's for the pure devotees. It descends. There's no attempt from this chanter. It's automatically available. So one has to do this. The difference between the analogy and the holy name is, with the analogy of taking the sugar candy, whether the person who is administered this knows the glories of it or not, it can be purified of the disease. But for the holy name, if you want to get to the next stage, because the very first chanting can get you Shubhada, Kleshagni and Shubhada. If that's all we want to get, the benefits of chanting the holy name is to get relief of the Yesterday we saw the Lord does not want any person who want to just get rid of their problems to come to take up devotional service, because holy name devotional service can bestow that. That's not what the purpose of the devotional service is. Devotional service can get you Krishna Prem. So that's why the Adarat is important. The chanter has to chant with very, very diligent care. And it's not like one day, today I'll chant 16, tomorrow I'll take a break and maybe do 2, 3 rounds, 4 rounds, something like that. It has to be Anudinam, every single day. Then only this process will purify us. The holy name will get us whatever we want. But Krishna is very careful on on who he wants to bestow the pure devotion service, who wants to do it very diligently, who is very attached to the holy name. And slowly that distaste will become attached to the holy name and chant in the purified stage. So that is, and it is relishable. Right now we do have relish to the chanting holy name. Some of you might have it, but if you want to share your experiences, how it feels for you to chant. Does it feel to chant the holy name like a burden? We want to get it done, or we want to keep going it?
I'll just share my experience. Morning time, it's always the best, because I think naturally in the Brahma Muhurt we are in the state of goodness, sorry. But as the day progresses and as the evening approaches in the nighttime, then the chanting starts to become a burden. Because I think as the states progress, the relish in the chanting reduces. That's my experience.
Okay.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank
Okay.
I would agree with is it Priyanka? Is that you who is sharing? Similarly, I find that if I don't take the time in the morning to chant my 16 rounds or at least 14 rounds, then like towards the end of the day it becomes like the burden. It's not. And in the morning, if I get up like 5 a.m., I open the door and it's just so peaceful outside, and I start chanting, it becomes like almost like a little dance in my mind, a little piece of heaven, so to speak. And so it's really glorious, So I think for me, if I can continue to stay on that path, it really is it just starts my day off with a kick, So, Hare
Yeah.
Krishna.
Thank you. Kanika?
Yeah, Mataji, I kind of feel that I agree with everything that the devotees have said. I relate, but I've noticed one thing that whether I mean, from all, it would be a lie to say that every single mala of all the 16 malas I've done with like absolute attention, whether it's in the morning or evening. There are always like a couple malas where I do see myself getting distracted. But the biggest plus that I've seen is that when I chant 16 rounds, like somehow the things that should remain big in my life remain big, and the things that should remain small in my life remain small. That it kind of adjusts how much attention you give, how much time you give, how much heart is in any activity accordingly. So it helps me, just gives me perspective. Even if all 16 rounds are not like the best quality, at least it helps me focus on what is important in my life, and try to get away from things that are not important, that I used to previously think were important.
Thanks. Thanks for sharing your realization on that. Yeah. So it has to be with careful attention and preferably in the morning hours, because morning hours are like we are going with the flow of Ganga. In the afternoon and in the evening, we are flowing against the Ganga. Rowing a boat against Ganga is very hard. And going along with the flow is easy. And the morning vibes are such that they help you go with the flow, because there is no other business that I started already. The businesses have now started. So we are just with the holy name, and it's, if you are able to adjust your life to do that, it's very glorious. And We can all strive to do that. And one caution that I want to say that for myself, even I'm speaking all this doesn't mean that I have perfected any of these here. We are all struggling. I might have known this as a little more information than you, and now you are also knowing about it. So we are all, and if you catch me chanting anytime in the afternoon or evening, don't take me like that, because we are all trying to adjust our lives in such way that we can prioritize what's most important things for us. So Adarat has to be there and Anudinam has to be there, which is very, very important. Otherwise, the avidya will remain. And Krishna will give us like the glories of the holy name. And we will go through some of the holy names' glories as a part of this, because Rupa Goswami himself has composed so many beautiful verses about the holy names' glories itself, which I think previously also I shared this particular verse. It's kind of a tongue-twisting verse. It's very beautiful. I'll try to recite from Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya. It is not from this. It's not composed in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. You know where it is coming from. Rupa Goswami's. Tunde tandi viniratim vitante tundavali labhyate लब्धये कर्णाक्रोधकदम्बिनी घटयते कर्णाभ्युदेभ्यास्परां चेतप्राङ्गणसङ्गिनी विजयते सर्वेन्द्रियाणां कृतं नो जाने जनितक्रियाब्धिरमृतये कृष्णेति वर्णद्वयी. What is Rupa Goswami saying? I do not know how much nectar the two syllables Krishna have produced. When the holy name of Krishna is chanted, it appears to dance within that mouth. They then desire many, many mouths. When that name enters the holes of the ears, we desire many millions of ears. And when the holy name dances in the courtyard of the heart, it conquers the activities of the mind, and therefore all the senses become inert. This is composed by Srila Rupa Goswami himself from Vidagdha Madhava, describing the pastimes of Krishna in Vrindavan. So he's saying the holy name of Krishna is so beautiful, so sweet, that it simply dances in his mouth, and he needs millions of ears to hear its glories, and because 2 years are not sufficient, because it's so sweet and so nectarian that whenever the names enters the holes of the ears, he wants more millions of ears, because the holy name dances in the courtyard of his heart, and it conquers the mind. So that holy name which conquers the mind is the pure holy name. Because for the mind to be occupied, it needs only two things. Because when we do things parallelly while chanting and doing some things, we are doing that and we are chanting with the mouth. So mind is occupied in the work that you're doing. But for the holy name, for the mind to capture the holy name, you need to concentrate on the holy name, because mind only needs two things at any given point. Chanting is anyway one thing that you're doing with the mind, which is brain needs to function. The other is the concentration of the holy name. If you do these two things effectively, it's glued. However, if you chant with the mouth and think something else, there also your mind is engaged. So you're gone in that process. The mind is gone. So mind only need two things. So if you can think like that and see, I only have to remember Krishna while I'm chanting or hear the holy name. Don't even make an extraneous attempt to remember Krishna, because hearing Krishna, hearing holy name is one and the same. So we just have to hear the holy name and chant with the mouth. These are the only two things we have to do. Slowly, the mind will become captivated. And you don't know how time passes when you are chanting. We just don't know how the time passes. 2 hours also going good. And if you attempt to chant more number of rounds over certain periods of time, like 32 rounds, Toronto ISKCON propagates the chanting of the holy name of 32 rounds every Ekadashi and every festival, I guess. Anybody attempting to do that from this group? You can all try.
I thought it was 26 Mataji. Is 32 on Ekadashi? Or does it depend?
No, that's your personal choice, but the temple is encouraging devotees to chant 32 on Ekadashis. there's a message that comes out just before Ekadashi, and any festivals, I guess, to chant more along with the other devotees who are also doing the similar things. And what to speak of chanting 64 rounds? What is the maximum someone has chanted in this group?
I did do 64 rounds, Mataji, once in Purushottam.
Right.
Yeah, I've also done 64 once for Nirjala Ekadashi.
How was the experience?
It felt like Mataji, holy name just didn't leave my tongue at all. I just wanted to do it more and more. Like I had it by default in my tongue. Holy name.
So the more you chant, the more you get. So if you are just chanting 4 rounds, maybe to get that taste might be hard. But anyway, for this class, you are chanting 8 rounds or more, right? All of you. Many of you are already initiated, so you are chanting 16, I'm sure. Some of you, I think the bar was 8 rounds, so not less than 8. So if you increase your chanting to more, then it becomes natural. So you should chant definitely more. I mean, 16 for sure, and if you can get opportunities to chant more, then that's but better, because every now and then, not like regular basis, because it needs to be fresh as well. It has to be fresh. You need to look forward for it. So you can make that as an attempt to chant more on occasions like Janmashtami and Ekadashis and so on. So that will there is something exciting happening for us in the devotional service, devotional life, and we can look forward to it. And we can make plans to do. So that way, we are always making some plans. Like mind always schemes, right? We want to plan this vacation, plan that vacation, do this, do that. Like that happens. Planning is there for everything. Similarly, we can plan for such things. 64 rounds japa day, 32 rounds japa days. Yeah, we can plan for such thing and look forward for that. Yes, Mataji?
Hare Krishna. So would you also recommend, I don't know if I don't care if the temple, I'm saying for like Janastami, would you recommend 32 rounds, like these special days, it should be 32 rounds to really get the nectar?
One can make a attempt, or one can make that cautious attempt for themselves. The recommended by the Guru is 16 for us, Srila Prabhupada and disciples coming from. So I'm not recommending that we do that. It's a suggestion that you can attempt to do that more. And temple is making a giving the opportunity for all the devotees to come together on Zoom to chant. So that way, if you chant in the morning along with the devotees, it gets done easily.
Yeah, I
So
mean, no, I was just saying, because I'm initiated, so I chant 16 rounds every day. But adding the another 16, I think actually sounds like a really beautiful thing to do for
yeah,
these initiated
festivals, yes, that's what I said. For
Okay.
Vaishnava Tithis, like Janmashtami, yesterday was, 2 days back was Balram Jayanti. If anyone could have done that, that would have been better. So like that, if you can do on the Vaishnava Tithis, as well as on Ekadashis. Ekadashi is again a Vaishnava Tithi.
Thank you.
Yeah. And for the Purushottam, again, many devotees during Kartik, devotees make a vow to chant more. So that then you will make adjustments. You'll adjust your time such a, because you are now chanting 16, then you have to make so many hours extra, then you'll adjust eating less, sleeping less, doing other sense gratifications or whatever, not just sense work less, so that you can spare more time. So all that will be adjusted. So that's very important. But devotees, when to get that freshness in life, we have to keep doing it. These kind of things. Okay, we'll go into the Bhagavad. There are many more things to be said, can be said. The glories of holy name itself. There is one nice bhajan on the holy name, if anyone has heard it. Kevalashtakam. Very first verse goes as Madhuram Madhurebhyopi Mangalebhyopi Mangalam पावनं पावनेभ्योऽपि हरेर्नामैव केवलम् हरेर्नामैव केवलम्. 8 verses glorifying the holy name of the Lord. Very beautiful. And sometimes in ISKCON Toronto, these are also recited over Zoom for the festival season, Kartik and Purushottam month. Some devotees do that. Did anyone raise a hand? Yeah. So there are many verses that are there out in the scriptures that glorify the holy name of the Lord. There's one more beautiful verse by Rupa Goswami. Madhura Madhura Metan Mangalam Mangalanam Sakala Nigama Valli Satpalam Chitswarupam Sakita Piparigitam Shraddaya Helayava Briguvara Naramatram Tarahe Krishna Nama Briguvara Naramatram Tarahe Krishna Nama. This is also by Rupa Goswami. Says that whether you do it chanting with Hela or with Shraddha, it will get you the holy name. It will purify him. That's the glory of the holy name. But to get to Krishna's prema, you need to go much further, deeper into the holy name. How these acharyas have taken it up upon themselves. They wear the holy name upon their neck. Not just literally, but on their, like, taking it up in their heart, in their minds. So that's how it has to happen. So now we'll go into the details of the purport. Shakti Mataji, you want to read from the first paragraph?
Yes, Hare Krishna, thank you. Lord Krishna's holy name, qualities, pastimes, and so forth are all of the nature of absolute truth, beauty, and bliss. Naturally, they are very sweet, like sugar candy, which appeals to everyone. Nescience, however, is compared to the, the disease called jaundice, which is caused by bilious secretions. Attacked by jaundice, the tongue of a diseased person cannot palatably relish sugar candy. Rather, a person with jaundice considers something sweet to taste very bitter. Avidya, ignorance, similarly perverts the ability to relish the transcendently palatable name, qualities, form, and pastimes of Krishna. Despite this disease, if one with great care and attention takes to Krishna consciousness, chanting the holy name, and hearing Krishna's transcendental pastimes, his ignorance will be destroyed and his tongue enabled to taste the sweetest of the transcendental nature of Krishna and his paraphernalia. Such a recovery of spiritual health is possible only by the regular cultivation of Krishna consciousness.
Yeah, it has to be cultivated with various ways, methods that Prabhupada has given us, standard method. And on the top of it, we can come up with our own things, how we can chant the holy name effectively with care and attention in our own personal lives. So something that we have to cultivate it, make our life in such a way that we can give this much time for the holy name so that we can do chanting attentively. So it has to be regular cultivation of Krishna consciousness. Yeah. Debbie, can you read, please? Here.
Yes, Mataji, from When a Man?
Yeah.
When a man in the material world takes more interest in the materialistic way of life than in Krishna consciousness, he is considered to be in a diseased condition. The normal condition is to remain an eternal servant of the Lord, Jivara Swarupa Haya Krishnera Nityadasa. This healthy condition is lost when the living entity forgets Krishna due to being attracted by the external features of Krishna's Maya energy. This world of Maya is called Dura Ashriya, which means false or bad shelter. One who puts his faith in Dura Ashriya becomes a candidate for hoping against hope. In the material world, Everyone is trying to become happy, and although their material attempts are baffled in every way due to their nishants, they cannot understand their mistakes. People try to rectify one mistake by making another mistake. This is the way of the struggle for existence in the material world. If one in this condition is advised to take to Krishna consciousness and be happy, he does not accept such things. He does not accept such instructions. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So the one who takes more interest in the material life, Prabhupada is saying, is in a diseased avidya condition. Because the natural condition for the living entity is Krishnera Swarupahaya, Jivera Swarupahaya, Krishnera Nityadas. That is a healthy condition. But we going away from that, then that is a diseased condition. Because we are affected by Maya. And who are those people who don't take the shelter of Krishna? From Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7.
Namaskritinamura prapadindenarādhava maya virita jnana ashuri bhavam ashrita.
Take 7:14 or sorry, 7:15.
It's
69.
15, right?
15. The
Yeah,
next
15.
Yeah. So Durashraya is Maya is called Durashraya because the people who take shelter of that Maya are called as Dushkritas. Yeah, I think we'll get that. No, it's here. Okay, someone please read. Ananga Mohini Mataji, can you read? Begin, Prabhu, please read.
And this Krishna consciousness, right?
Yeah.
This Krishna consciousness movement is being spread all over the world just to remedy this gross ignorance. People in general are misled by blind leaders. The leaders of human society, the politicians, philosophers, and scientists are blind because they are not Krishna conscious. According to Bhagavad Gita, because they are bereft of all factual knowledge due to their atheistic way of life, they are actually sinful rascals and are the lowest among men. Namam Duskritinamura Prapadente Naradama Maya Pridagyana Ashiram Bhavam Asrita. Those miscreants who are grossly foolish, lower among mankind, whose knowledge is stolen by illusion and who partake of the atheistic nature of demons, do not surrender unto me. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, sloka 15. Such people never surrender to Krishna and they oppose the endeavor of those who wish to take Krishna's shelter. When such atheists become leaders of society, the entire atmosphere is surcharged with nescience. In such a condition, people do not become very enthusiastic to receive this Krishna conscious movement, just as a diseased person suffering from jaundice does not relish the taste of sugar candy. However, one must know that a jaundice sugar candy is this only specific medicine for jaundice. Similarly, in the present confused state of humanity, Krishna consciousness, the chanting of the holy name of the Lord, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, is the only remedy for setting the world all right. Although Krishna consciousness may not be very palatable for a diseased person, Srila Rupa Goswami nonetheless advises that if one wants to be cured of the material disease, he must take to it with great care and attention. One begins his treatment by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra because by chanting this holy name of the Lord, a person in the material condition will be relieved from all misconceptions. Setudarpana Marjanam. Avidya, a misconception about one's spiritual identity, provides the foundation for ahankara, or false ego, within the heart.
Thank you. So, such people who are Dushkritas never surrender because they are, and Prabhupada is going on his preaching mission, modern mission, that is always talking about those people who oppose the spreading of Krishna consciousness movement. And because of this, and devotees are also attempting to overcome that by spreading the glories of the holy name. But one person the persons who are opposing to this can take, or the person who is unaware of this, ignorant of the holy of the actual purpose of life can take up the process of chanting the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. That is the only remedy. And that is what proposed by Srila Rupa Goswami. And that is a treatment as well for the avidya condition. And there are glories of the holy name again by Mahaprabhu himself, Cheto Darpana Marjanam. There is the 7 wonders of the chanting of the holy name are given in this particular verse. Anybody knows? Can recite? All these are recited in the morning times in the temples, or at least one of the verses. This 8 verses, Shishtashtaka.
Chaturvarnam.
Yes.
Cheto Darpanamarjanam. Sorry, that's another. Cheto Darpanamarjanam Bhavamahadavagne Nirvapanam Shrekairabachandika Vitaranam Vidyavadu Jivanam Anandam Budivardhanam Pradipadam Purnamrita Bhashvadanam Sarvatma
Snapanam.
Snapanam Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtan.
So there are 8 wonders of the hand chanting of the holy name. I need to open the verse and go to those wonders. But anyways, Mahaprabhu is saying that it is the Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. So Shri Krishna Sankirtanam is Param Vijayate, all glories to it. Because this is what it can do. Cheto Darpanam, it can remove the dirt from the mirror of the heart. And followed by various other wonders that he explains in that verse. So one can understand the glories of the holy name by reciting these verses, because sometimes we don't know what is the glory of the holy name. That's why we may take it with very not with that much care, or that's why we need to know the glories of the holy name to be able to take it with that attention. So there is this book called Hare Krishna, chanting Hare Krishna by Prabhupada. It has the excerpts from Prabhupada's teachings in his books and his talks and lectures probably. And there are experts where he has glorified the holy name. So we can read that passages in between chanting also, just to bring us our attention back to the holy name. Anybody has seen that book in the book table? It's a very good book. We can chant the holy name. We can read about the glories of the holy name as proposed by Prabhupada in various teachings.
Sorry,
Sorry, Mataji, which book? Can you say that again?
Wait.
That's Harinam, right? Harinam.
Yes. It's in the book table. Any book distributors remember?
Bigyan Prabhu is generally at the book distribution table.
Yeah, that's Harinam, Harinam Amrit, right? So, yeah.
Namamrita.
Amrit.
Yeah?
Okay.
Yes, Mataji, Naam Amrita. This is
Yeah,
The
exactly.
Nectar of the
In
Holy
green
Name.
cover, yeah.
That one, yeah.
Okay, that I have.
Yeah, if you read it's passages.
That's what it looks like. Naam Amrita. Sorry, it comes as literally inverted, but it's a green colored book.
Oh, who's this book? This is Rupa Goswami's book.
No, this is Prabhupada's book. Sri Naam Amrita.
Mataji, this book essentially picks
compilation.
up, verses from multiple scriptures about the glories of chanting the holy name.
That's
And
right.
it compiles them.
It is from the Prabhupada's books and lectures, Mataji, about the holy names.
Thinking about that. This may be also, yeah, for sure. But there's another book, which is from direct passages from the purports, which glorify the holy name. If I get it, I'll put a picture of that. I have it, just not here. That also, any book, I'm sorry, you can read any book while chanting. You can read some glory about the holy name, so that it gets you in the right perspective. I meant to say that, not just this or that. Any book you can bring you back to chanting the holy name of the Lord with a lot of attention and care. That's something that we should do. So when we are getting distracted, maybe we should read for some time, for 5 minutes, read for 5 minutes, and then come back to chanting if we're getting distracted. So those are the things that we can employ in our chanting. Yeah. Vivek Prabhu, are you here today? Want to read?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah,
Sorry.
the real
Uh,
disease.
yes, Mataji. The real disease is in the art. If the mind is cleansed, however, if consciousness is cleansed, a person cannot be harmed by the material disease. To cleanse the mind and the heart from all misconceptions, one should take to this chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. This is both easy and beneficial. By chanting the holy name of the Lord, one is immediately freed from the blazing fire of material existence.
Yeah, please read.
There are three stages in chanting the holy names of the Lord: the offensive stage, the stage of lessening offenses, and the pure stage. When a neophyte takes to the chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, he generally commits many offenses. There are 10 basic offenses. If the devotee avoids these, he can glimpse this next stage, which is situated between offensive chanting and pure chanting. When one attains the pure stage, he is immediately liberated. This is called Bhavamaha Davagni Nirvapana. As soon as one is liberated from the blazing fire of material existence, he can relish the taste of transcendental life.
Yeah, thank you. So there are 10 offenses to the holy name. Apart from knowing that there are these stages, the Nama Aparad, Nama Bhaj, and Shuddhanam, there are what causes one from moving from one stage to the other is the offenses to the holy name. We know there are 10 offenses to the holy name. Anybody knows them by heart? These are recited every day in the temples, in the morning programs.
I can try, Mataji.
Yes, please.
So one is to blaspheme the devotees of the Lord who have dedicated their lives to the propagation of the name of the Lord. Two is to consider Brahma or Shiva to be equal to or independent of the name of Vishnu. Three is to disobey the orders of the spiritual master. Four is to consider Vedic literature or to blaspheme the Vedic literature or literatures in pursuance of the Vedic version. Sorry. And then number four is to
That was four. That was four.
Maybe I'm not following the order. The next one is to disobey the orders of the spiritual master.
One of fifth is not that. Seventh is to disobey the orders.
This is at the beginning though. Disobey the orders of the spiritual master. I don't know the number, but I don't think it's seventh. And then there is to consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be imagination. And then then one of the later ones at the down was to preach the glories of the chanting to faithless people, and then to chant for attaining material. This is not exactly, the wording is different, but to chant the name for material gains, even after understanding so many instructions on this matter and keeping material attachments. So I'm still missing a few though. Sorry.
So one should recite, memorize them if possible, so you know them.
I try to when we do it in the morning, but
Yeah.
I guess I have to stop looking at them now.
To blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives of propagating the holy name of the Lord. Two, to consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the name of Lord Vishnu. Three, to disobey the orders of the spiritual master. Four, to blaspheme the Vedic scriptures or scriptures and persons of the Vedic version. Five, to consider the chanting glories of the holy name. Answer glories of chanting Hare Krishna to page imagination. Six, to give some mundane interpretation to the holy name of the Lord. Seven, to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. 8, to consider the chanting Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities, Karma Kanda. 9, to instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. 10, to not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachment even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must carefully guard against these 10 offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success. Krishna Prema. Followed by this, we pray the Vaishnava prayers, Vanchakalpatarthascha. So no harm in reciting them every day, and so that there are prayers that one has to do standard recitation apart from our daily chanting and Mangalarti if we are all doing at home. Include this morning program routine. What does happen in the temple? You can do it in your homes. If you cannot recite them in Sanskrit all the time, you can read in English also. Many days I only recite English of some of the prayers because it's easy. We don't have to put a tune which gets into some time. So I can recite the glories or the any prayer, like even Tulsi Astakam also you can say in English if you don't have time that much. So anything, language is not a barrier. Please recite. Include them in your prayer so that even though you may not be able to attend the temple program, you can bring the temple program into your home. Small version of it, customized to your time and situation. Do it. Everyone who is not already doing, please try to do this. Everyone is already doing, great. Good job. Okay, you can continue like that. Yes, Mataji?
Hare Krishna, I'm sorry to, but this was a book that can you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is called a handbook of Vaishnava songs and practices. And when I first started going to Mangala Arati, I used it because I didn't know the songs. So this is a really great book if you want to start kind of bringing that into your home. It gives you the Sanskrit and the English, and so you're having those extra prayers. It's really beautiful.
Right. All the standard prayers in ISKCON. Very small, skinny book also we get. A temple bhajans is what we get. And it has got the English, it has got Sanskrit. Yes, this one. This is the best book. Everyone should. I can go in the pocket also. I can handbag also. I used to carry it many times. Like my beginning days, I used to carry this book and read from it. That's why I got the English for some of them. And this 10 offenses and the Guru Vandana also I say in English mostly. So it's easy. And wherever you are, it's not time. These devotional service practices are not based on any time, place, circumstance. You can do it anytime in the train, at work, when you get time. So bring Krishna into your life. Don't keep him separate as an all person sitting on the altar and only taking some food that you offer and chant in front for a certain time. But bring him into your life. You can do it throughout the day. No problem. Okay, the last paragraph I think we have is two. We have a lot to cover. Okay, let's read. One of you want to read? Volunteers?
Mataji, I can volunteer. Sorry, I know you asked me before, but I was away from my system, so couldn't read.
Yeah, the conclusion.
The conclusion is that in order to get freed from the material disease, one must take to the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra. The Krishna consciousness movement is especially meant for creating an atmosphere in which people can take to the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra. One must begin with faith, and when that faith is increased by chanting, a person can become a member of the society. We are sending parikrama parties all over the world, and they are experiencing that even in the remotest part of the world, where there is no knowledge of Krishna, the Hare Krishna Mahamantra attracts thousands of men to our camps. In some areas, people begin to imitate the devotees by shaving their heads and chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra only a few days after hearing the mantra. This may be imitative, but imitation of a good thing is desired. Some imitators gradually become interested in being initiated by the spiritual master and offer themselves for initiation.
Yeah, this is Prabhupada's preaching mission. So he's talking about how he used to spread these glories of chanting the holy name in the initial days by sending Sankirtan parties all over the world to the remotest part. Even now, within the Indian subcontinent, there are many remote villages who don't have the access to this, but devotees go out, and there is Shastradan that is made to these remote villages so that they can take this knowledge to their heart and become devotees by chanting the holy name and reading the books. So this is important for us. Even we can attempt in our own small ways to do this. Next, any other volunteer?
I can read, Mataji.
Mataji. Sorry, go.
Ah, okay. If one is sincere, he is initiated, and stage is called Bhajana Kriya. One then actually engages in the service of the Lord by regularly chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra 16 rounds daily and refraining from illicit sex, intoxicants, meat eating, and gambling. By Bhajana Kriya, one attains freedom from the contamination of the materialistic life. He no longer goes to a restaurant or hotel to taste so called palatable dishes made with meat and onions, nor does he care to smoke or drink tea and coffee. He only refrains from illicit sex but avoids sex life entirely. Nor is he interested in wasting his time in speculating or gambling. In this way, it is to be understood that one is becoming cleansed of unwanted things. Anartha Nivriti. The word anartha refers to unwanted things. Anarthas are vanquished when one becomes attracted to Krishna consciousness movement.
Thank you. So the 10 stages of chanting the holy name are, anybody knows that? 10 stages of making progress in devotional life?
It starts with Shraddha, Bhajan Kriya, Sadhu Sangha, Anartha Nivriti. I don't remember the order. These are four of them. Nishtha, Ruchi,
Asakti.
Asakti, Bhava, Prema. I'm missing one.
Yeah, that's it. Bhava and Prema.
Okay, Mataji.
Prema is the final one.
Okay.
So that's the order. So it starts with the Adav Shraddha, the little faith. When you see the faith in someone, you fan the spark. Vaisheshika Prabhu's quote. If you see, fan the spark. There's a small spark in someone. Adav Shraddha, they keep coming to the temple. Something pulls them coming into the temple. So you just look at that and fan that. Then it becomes like a blaze. Slowly, eventually, gradually. Because again, it depends on the person who has to take it. So if you see the spark, you give it some flame, you give it some fan that so that they'll take it up and continue with their life. So there are stages which that starts with the Shraddha. Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya. So they are associating with the devotees. Take up that. So the innocent, what does a Madhyamadhikari do? He will not, he is very compassionate to the innocent, right? From the last verse. So get to that stage of Madhyama stage. Madhyama stage is when you make friends with your like-minded. When you look at the innocent, you give them compassion. What is the highest compassion one can give? One can give the highest compassion in this world is to give them Krishna consciousness. So when they're showing that little bit faith, give them your association, give them something that they can come back to the temple. Give them your association, give them your good words. These are some of the things we dadati, we learned that. What are the things that we give? We also give them good words, encouraging words. We give them your compassion. We give them show them your gratitude that they keep coming. So that is something that we give. And then you receive from them whatever they receive, whatever they. So from your side, you're giving. From your side, you're making that attempt. So give that. You can spread the holy name in your own way. It doesn't have to be, you have to be a book distributor only to do this or go out on Sankirtan parties. If your time doesn't allow, you can do it on your own in some other ways. But if it does allow, support the temple. Go out in Sankirtan parties. Go out in book distribution. Contribute to the book table. I mean, give a service to the book table, book distribution tables. Like that. So the Bhajana Kriya has to start somewhere and by the association of the devotees. Right? You're a sadhu, if you can give your association, they'll start with their Bhajana Kriya. And it will slowly, and it will, the process is there, Anartha Nivritti and so on. Okay, next person who wanted to read from here.
I can read, Mataji.
I think one other person wanted to.
Okay.
I can.
I think that was Mrudula Mataji. Yeah.
Mrudula, please.
Yeah, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Correct.
When a person is relieved from unwanted things, he becomes fixed in executing his Krishna activities. Indeed, he becomes attached to such activities and experiences ecstasy in executing devotional service. This is called bhava, the preliminary awakening of dormant love of Godhead. Thus, the conditioned soul becomes free from material existence and loses interest in the bodily conception of life, including material opulence, material knowledge, and material attraction of all variety. At such a time, one can understand who the Supreme Personality of Godhead is and what his Maya is. Although Maya may be present, it cannot disturb a devotee once he attains the bhava stage. This is because the devotee can see the real position of Maya. Maya means for forgetfulness of Krishna, and forgetfulness of Krishna and Krishna consciousness stand side by side like light and shadow. If one remains in shadow, he cannot enjoy the facilities offered by light. And if one remains in light, he cannot be disturbed by the darkness of shadow. By taking to Krishna consciousness, one gradually becomes liberated and remains in light. Indeed, he does not even touch the darkness. As confirmed in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya 22.31, Krishna Surya Sama, Maya Haya, Andakara, Yahan Krishna, Taha Nahi, Mayara Adhikara. Krishna is compared to sunshine and Maya is compared to darkness. Wherever there is sunshine, there cannot be darkness. As soon as one takes to Krishna consciousness, the darkness of illusion, the influence of the external energy will immediately vanish.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare
So
Krishna.
Krishna is Surya Saman, Maya is like Andakar. Raha Krishna taha nahi Maya Radhikar. So this is what Maya is all about, darkness. And we need to get to light. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya 22:31 says that Krishna is compared to sunshine, Maya is darkness. Wherever there is sunshine, there is no darkness. And one has to take up this Krishna consciousness movement. And darkness of illusion, the influence of external energy will be immediately banished. So that is the purport. I've heard it multiple times. Any questions? Yes.
Mataji, it's a very basic question. So false ego is basically when one keeps the identification with the body. And on the other hand, spiritual ego is considering oneself to be the servant of Krishna. Is there anything more to it?
No, that's it. Gopi Bhartu Patakamalayora Das 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 Anudas. That is what Mahaprabhu is saying. I'm a servant of the servant of the servant of the gopis who are the maid servants of Lord Shri Krishna.
Okay, thank you, Hare Krishna. Mataji.
Naham Vipro Nachalarpatir Napi Vaishyo Nashudro Naham Varni Chagarhapatirvo Manasto Yatirva Kintu Prodayan Akhilas. There's one word I'm missing. Akhila is one word, and then followed by Gopi Bhartu Patakamayor Das Dasanudas. This is what Mahaprabhu says. I am not a Brahmana, I am not a Kshatriya, I am not a Vaishya or Shudra. Naham Varni, I am not a Grahastha Vanapatir. Nothing. I am not a Brahmana, Vaishya, Shudra, nor a Brahmachari, Vanapastha, Grahastha, or a sannyasi. I am only a servant of the servant of the servant of the gopis who is the associates of Lord Shri Krishna.
Beautiful. Thank you, Mataji. This is actually, I think I needed that understanding. Thank you.
Yes, Kanika?
Mataji, I just have the name of one of the songs you were talking about. Was it Kevalam Ashtakam? But can you post on WhatsApp the other song you were talking about, like or both of them maybe, so I'm not messing
One
up
is
the
the
names.
bhajan, that 8 verses, Kevalashtakam, what I said.
Okay.
As
Mhm.
it. The other one is a verse.
Okay. Can you just put it on the WhatsApp group, Mataji, so I can look it up? Whenever you remember, no rush. I mean, whenever.
I don't know where is the reference of the other one. It must be in one of the. I just memorized it long back. I haven't.
Right.
I don't know that.
Yeah.
It's also called Rupa Goswami, but Kevalashtakam I can post, which
Okay.
is in
Thank
KK
you.
songs also.
Okay. Thank you.
But if I find that anytime, I will post the reference for that also.
Thank you, Mataji.
Yes.
Hare Krishna Mataji, can I ask you for the dates for the OBA? Do we know the questions and the date? You told us it would be before the close book, but we don't know the actual deadline and the questions because this helps us prepare. We can write the essays
I'll come to that.
in time.
Yeah, we'll spend some time on that. But if there are any questions related to the topic, we'll do that now more. You're good? Okay. If we are done with the subject, then we can take up that. So next week we don't have classes. Next Saturday and Sunday, Janmashtami and Ras Puja. Followed by that, we will have class, which is 16, 17, no classes. 23rd, 24th we will have. We'll finish the book on 23rd, 24th, right? 8th verse, 9, 10, 11 in one session. Then followed by that, 30th is where we'll start the Ishopanishad, 30th. The next day, 31st, is again a holiday because of Radhashtami. Temples have in the afternoon programs to facilitate that. Okay, so next sessions, we will be finishing this book. And I will, next 2 weeks, because next week there is no class, I'll post the OBA question within next 1 week. During the holiday time, you can also, next 2-3 days, I'll post it, what you have to write. So you'll have the time. You can write it whenever you get time now and keep it for the issue for Nectar of Instruction. Ishopanishad we will do on 30th, right? Start. Then we'll take 1 day break and then continue. I think I'll look at the questions for Ishopanishad and see which one would be the best question for all of us. Because if we wait till the end, then you'll not have time to write it. So because the important verses are all over the place in Ishopanishad. Very first 2 verses are very important. Most likely we'll pick from there or see. If we are able to do it, I will post that also next few weeks after we start it. Then you can comfortably write. I don't have the date yet. So next week I will post the Nectar of Instruction. You can finish that whenever your time permits.
Thank you. And is it the same maximum word count? I think we got 750 from Lalitangi Mataji for module 2, and she made us use that ChatGPT that checker. She wanted us to verify, so it was the same process.
Yes. Last time we found there was some ChatGPT usage, so refrain from doing that. It's not a Vaishnava ticket. Yeah. We went a lengthy process last time, so don't do that for yourself and for the others that will put them to rework. Keep it to 800 words. 600 to 800 is what you can go. That might be a little hard, right? Like 700 to 800. Let's do that. What else? Give references. Put the word count. Number of words what you are writing is important because the evaluator don't give them the responsibility of counting the words. Word easily provides that information. Just write it down, even if you convert into PDF. Few other things. Did the last marks were shared with you, assessments?
They haven't shared. We don't even have the exam marks, Mataji. We have no idea how we've done in the
On my
previous 2
side, I'm done.
modules.
Okay, I have given all the assessments from my side. It was done. I can check with Halabin.
We're just assuming we're passing.
Deb, I'm sorry. I just have a question. There's a lot of questions here. This is my first time taking Sastri here. I took it in New York. So you're saying a lot of dates and you're saying a lot of things that are due, and then we're off this date. We're not on that date. I'm unable to keep track of that. Is there a way that you can just post that in the group so I can look at the group? And it doesn't have to be today, this minute, but at least if I could look in the group and it says, okay, next weekend we're off, this weekend we're on.
I think it's already posted, Mataji. I'm just repeating what has been posted. Do we have that in the group chat somewhere? We have it, right? The schedule was already posted in the beginning.
Yes, Mataji, it's there in the group.
Yeah, maybe it was it pinned? Probably not. But
No, Mataji.
one of you can repost the schedule, which is already shared already. So what I'm going to do now is to give the question for OBA for Nectar of Instruction next 1 week. So you'll have opportunity to write it. Ishopanishad, when we start, we will do that. We have time for that. So that's all I said. So next 1 week, I'll post the question. I'll try to do it as soon as possible so that you have the time. Janmashtami. But Janmashtami is so busy anyway. That's why we are not doing classes. Yeah.
So the question that the question you're giving us is the question that we need to answer and write a 600 to 800 word essay on that.
Yes.
Okay.
Keep it
Thank
700 to 800. 600 will be too less. So 700 to 800. 800 is a cutoff big thing. And we also encountered, not last time we had a something that we had to do with not to use ChatGPT, don't you? But always give references. Those were my feedback back to all of you. Put the word count. Put the word count, put the references. Don't count the references. There's a way to write references. I wish I could show you. Maybe I'll show something.